Okay, in this video, we're going to continue with the core data CRUD. And just to reiterate, CRUD stands for create, retrieve, update, and delete. In the first video, I did the create and the retrieve. Now we're going to do the update, and then we'll do the delete. And so to update, I'm going to actually, in here, we're going to add a new button called update. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going to be called update, but we have to type button in there. Put that right here. I'll say update. Okay. I have this little cheat sheet on how to do all this. I created this myself, but I will share this with you. I've shared it in the first video, and I'll make sure it's a link on this video as well. So we create a new button and call it update. Create an IB action using this button. We're going to call that IB action called update data. Okay. And so let's go ahead and use the split screen. Make this a little bigger here. I'm going to separate that out. And we're going to drop and drag over here. Make sure we call that action. We'll say update data. Should call that. All right. Connect. There's that update data action. Next, we want to call inside of there a method called update. And I have the code for that method right here. All right, and so I'll put that right underneath this action. We have it there, and I'll go over what that is doing in a second. Let's just call update from inside here though. All right. I'm going to get out of split screen now. We shouldn't need to be in split screen. We can just go take a look at our view controller, and let's see what's going on in this method. So just like the previous methods we've used with core data, we create our managed object context variable, and we use that to grab all the information to connect basically to our core data database. We're getting an error here because this variable I haven't created yet. I'm going to create it's a variable of type int. We can just say var the spot, make it equal to 0, right? And so what we want to do is make sure that in our delegate method, we're going to have to add a new delegate method. Let's see here. Yes, right here. So this one's going to be called did select row at. So this will identify which of the entries in our database that we want to update. So we'll use that table to do that. And so what this does, and this is a built-in method that you're allowed to use when you have a table in your project. I have a little printout that lets us know we're selecting the correct row, and we save the index of that row to the spot variable, and then we're going to update our text fields with the information from that row, right? And then we can edit that from there. That makes sense. So this should work. Let's go ahead and run this. All right, so we have our database showing here. Let's say that Ken is not 37, so we want to edit that. Or maybe it's not Ken, you want to change the name, but we'll go with the age. We'll say he's 35, and we're going to hit update. And now you see Ken 35 is updated in our database. Pretty simple, but to the point. And just so you see, the last thing I want to show you that I didn't show you in that update method is that after we do the resaving, we then reload the table. And I make each of the text fields empty, which is the appropriate thing to do. So we're using our managed object to check out the appropriate value. That managed object is connected. And so when we say, hey, we want this spot to be examined, then we can go ahead and update that spot as such. So that's how that update method works. Let's do quickly, I'll show you how to do the delete function. So we'll create another button and we're going to create another function. This function does very similar to what I just showed you, except instead of updating anything, it just deletes that object, right? So I'm going to go into back to my storyboard, and I'm going to add one more button here. And we're going to say delete. Go split screen. Go underneath where I had the update, right above the view did load though. Got to make sure you're not inside of another method or you'll run into trouble. So let's go action, and we'll say delete data, right? And right underneath that, we'll put our new delete method. Let me get out a split screen so we can see everything a little better. Come on down right here. So that delete button, the only thing it's going to do is call this delete data method. And like I said in there, we just connect again to the spot selected through the table, the cell selected. And we call this, we connect our manage object variable to this dot delete object. And so we're going to delete whatever person we created here. That's a row in the core data database. And then we just save what we've done. And last thing is update the table by calling get data and making the text fields empty. Okay, so it's just empty quotes, and that's it. So again, let's just run it one last time, and I'll show you how this works. Well, let's say that Al's too young to be in this database, so we're going to delete him. There you go. So now you just have Ken and Bob. And it's pretty straightforward, but is very useful and a very powerful tool once you are able to use core databases. Let me know if you have any questions, anything you'd want to see in the future. Thanks.